I was just thinking.
Again? I can't
Ебать, наряд.
believe this shit.
Yes, sir.
Hey, was there something you needed? Another thing. Great. Yes?
Охуеть видок.
Hi again, gendarme. You can keep it. I don't mind. I can appreciate beauty when I see it. Blend in where? Bye-bye, gendarme.
It's you again. What is it? Why? Sounds like you're making her a suspect in this. Ruby's one of us. We're not gonna throw her under your moral interns.
And fuck you too, moral
Ruby is missing. If you hide from the police in a murder investigation, you become a suspect. You know how it works, guys.
That's nothing. That's just legalese. You don't even have a sound theory. I don't want to be rude, but we're trying.
I think we'll keep sticking around, Titus. You'll be surprised at how quickly a theory presents itself if you keep looking.
A sudden flash of lightning in your neocortex. The hostel cafeteria is lit by its airy blaze. Floor plans, bullet trajectories, webs of human emotion, all channeled into a single thought.
Because she was here, all night, with us.
He's cobbling together shit so he can put her away. It's Cop 101.
She was here all night, 11:30 to 12:15. She was here during all that time.
Yeah, with us, drinking, near the stage there.
No.
That's a lie.
All right. She took a fucking leak, okay? For one moment. Maybe went out too. She has an operation to run from her lorry. We're not getting into what...
That's probably for the best. Don't break your...
And just 'cause she was gone for 5 minutes doesn't mean she magically got to the roof and shot him. I've been through this. It's not plausible.
He's been through it. That means he's suspected her. All right, we're in. We got Ruby unaccounted for sometime during the window. This was crucial. Now let's place her on that roof.
Why not? You can't draw a straight line into Clausia's window from any of the surrounding buildings. Not from what I know about Martinez. Maybe from the coast. But like I said, I've been too busy dealing with you idiots. So no, I don't think it was a sniper. It was close up. "72%. There's a percentage and all. Where'd you get it from?
Definitely lie. The truth is not credible.
Wouldn't hurt to have one of those in Martinez. Still, all the labs in the world don't put her on that roof. How'd she get there? Climb? I've seen the wench. I'm not blind. You saying she reeled herself up by her collar, like some kind of...
Kidding?
Let's go with that. Point is, it's just a rusty wench. It doesn't put her on the roof. Oh. People say there was a pinball.
East Delta Pinball Arcade. Weird place.
Okay, but how'd she get up? There's no room for a staircase in this building. Or an elevator, for that matter.
The elevator is outside the building. It's an old dumbwaiter used for moving pinball machines up and down from the workshop. Ruby could have gone up, shot him, come down. All under 7 minutes.
That's quite the theory. We need to have a look at that secret passage.
I'm on it, boss. Right when the law clears, me and I...
It's a dumbwaiter, not an industrial lift. How about I go instead of...
Shush now. You got something else to back this route up? Or is that it? Right. What the fuck does that got to do with Ruby?
Wow, man, can we? I mean...
That'd be awesome. I beat that royalist machine.
All right, all right. We can get the barman to bring them down. What else? Footprints. Recent.
He looks tough, but there is a nervous twitch in his dark green eye. The tracks were recent, but not worn down in the right foot like Ruby's. It's best to omit this pesky little polemic for now. Too confusing.
That close, huh? How fortunate. I'll take a thorough look at those prints. Good news is, I'm still listening. I don't like guessing, Carl.
It opens the steel door in the kitchen, the one that leads upstairs to the roof. This key was right here, with you, all the time.
Quit jumping to conclusions, Theo. You took that key. Did it look like it was recently put there?
No, the ribbon was old, faded. It had been there for 20 years at least.
Why? This doesn't make sense. It's damn interesting, but it...
It doesn't fit well, but it fits. And he knows it.
Firmly doesn't go well with could've. There's a route to the roof. Me and the boys need to check it out. That's what we established. But a route does not put that bullet in his head. A gun does that, and Ruby doesn't carry one.
Phase 2. Murder weapon. Get a gun in her hand. If not that, then at least a shadow of a doubt. In the shape of a gun.
Не ей. Тем более я приехал только после уже убийства.
God damn. That's just about your favorite topic, isn't it?
You were warned not to bring it up. Your best shot here is to just back out of it.
Ничего, послушаться.
Okay, cop. She's got connections. I could see how she could have access to a gun.
That's all you needed. Doubt.
All right, cop. Keep talking. I'll tell you when I've had enough.
T, we're not seriously considering it, are we? Ruby wouldn't do this. Why would she do something like this?
Phase 3. Motive. The big one. Get this and they'll give her to you. Remember, don't piss him off. That never works.
And I suppose you have a theory on that.
Think about it. Why go through all that effort? It was her idea, wasn't it? The hanging. You went along, but she suggested it.
She had, like, a fully formed plan and shit. Right when she came back downstairs.
Really, Shanks? Claudia wanted to talk to another girl, that's all. She was just the first one up there. I could have come up with that plan if I'd have been first.
Time for a logics demonstration. He scoffs.
Think. You kill him. Get up there. Shoot him. Get down.
The man is silent.
If she used us to cover her own shit up, well, that's a serious violation of the Hardy Code, boss.
Which is why she didn't. She would never do that. Why aren't more of you defending her? This is fucking stupid, Titus.
Glenn, I thought the same thing when she skipped town and left us in this shit.
Oh, so he didn't rule her out completely. And she skipped town. This is good.
Nah, man. That's just Ruby. She's got shit under control. That's it.
Plus, man, it's like female intuition, you know. Women talk to women. Which is sort of why we need someone on the team who they talk to.
Not so useful. Yeah, like what? A thing? You mean?
Yeah, but they're both girls.
Girls like girls too, Angus, sometimes. This is one of those times. She liked Glacier.
Fuck you. First he says she's murdered him. Now she's a too? It's a lie.
Come on, Glenn. She likes Monica's titties more than you do. Everyone knows which way the wind blows there.
I did. I knew it. That's why she didn't fuck me at Fatty's birthday party.
She didn't fuck you, 'cause you're 40, and you still live with your mom, Dennis.
Ruby then threatened her and told her to end her relationship with the deceased.
This is some sordid shit. It's also the kind of garbage our Miss Aronier puts out to cover her own ass.
Sort of, but he doesn't have to know that.
That Ruby is queer as cabaret, now that I start thinking about it. I don't know why I didn't see it earlier. And that's okay. Some are queerer than others. You can still be a Hardy. But if you bring your own personal shit into our outfit,
And then, boss, use us to cover it up? I mean, that's just fucked up.
If it's true. But it's not, right?
Silence. He looks at the old man in the corner. A very small nod. And a trickle of tobacco spit.
Yeah, I see it. There's one more thing I've been wondering about. Ever since you asked me where she is. I don't know where she went. She just got up and left. Got real scared, too. She was afraid I would tell you. Maybe she was right. By now, I probably would.
She knew there's evidence on her, and she knew we'd find it. This is typical suspect behavior, why fleeing is always incriminatory.
Perhaps. Ask her if you find her. It won't be easy, though. She made sure of that. Friday afternoon, when you first arrived, I got word the RCM was in town. Then she came in to see me. Told me she was leaving. That's when we had our little conversation. I told you. You. No, you. As in the cop with the sideburns and the disco clothes. Sure. Normal. You know, when I first saw you limping here, I thought she was paranoid or sniffing her own supply. But now I'm not so sure. She said you have a funny taste in clothes and that you won't stop until you have something on her. She said she's heard of you from Jamrock, that you're a human can opener, that you play suspects against each other. Open.
And then, when they're all empty, just move on, onto the next can. Don't look back unless there was something you missed.
Fucking hell. Titus, did he just...
Open Angus up like a can? Yes, he did. Now, we can whine about it, whack him, or we can go on with our lives.
Silence. He nods.
Yeah, there was something else. She wouldn't tell me, though. I could see she wanted to. It was burning on her lips. This cock Titus.
Everard's file on you seemed thin on info. She must know from somewhere else. From Jamrock. Something more.
No. Her and Everard. They don't talk. They've never met. They have no relations. They live in different galaxies. Get that through your head. She's not far. We know that much. She didn't take her lorry, so she's...
Good fucking luck, man. She knows this place like the back of her hand.
Yeah, Al. And we won't either.
She's not really a hardy candidate anymore, is she?
She's not, Glenn. A little. On the coast.
Where have you looked for her? More
precisely, on the coast, past the waterlock. She's not here, so...
Who's doing this looking? They're all here.
Lizzie needed some air. No one goes to tell Everard anything. He knows what he has to know. Fast.
It's called a radio, you believe. The gardener may have played you a game when she stormed out. She has her own plan.
Sure, there's some shit houses there. A cinder block town. Fisher folk there. I hear they have a shack where junkies sometimes crash. Time for you to step up.
We will start there. One more question. What does Ruby look like?
Boyish. Hair's red. Dyed. She looks like a Lowry man. The what now? I have no idea.
She said she's building a pale.
What?
We were talking about radio equipment. She said she's doing Ulan frequency.
This guy barely understands what he's talking about.
There you have it. Pale something. It'll have to.
His grip is firm and reassuring, like holding a piece of unpolished granite. Not just granite, tightly packed RCM Sergeant material.
When are you gonna get it through your suicidal head? I already am. I just wasn't sure you...
And he still isn't. People aren't afraid of good cops in the way Ruby was afraid of you, he thinks, then turns back to his men.
Ниху. Даже не знаю, даже не знаю. Так, я могу повысить что-нибудь. Ну чё? Ну чё? Ну чё? Риторику, да? Пойдем с контейнером поговорим, ебать. Или нет? Трепет. Можно. Можно трепет поднять. Эквилибристика — это Андре, это танцы. Ноик — это концептуализация, но ее можно, по идее, попытаться шмотками. Штанга, грубая сила. Не знаю зачем. Ай, блядь, грубая сила, спящий портовый. А, нет, это все уже. Это все хуйня. Сила воли, эмпатия, грубая сила, концептуализация, эквилибристика. И трепет. Кстати, трепет я уже сейчас могу попробовать. Эквилибристика. То есть я не могу попробовать, надо узнать, могу ли я, не могу попробовать, потом буду попробовать. Была у меня 30-ка. Я могу заказать себе еще одну какую-нибудь кость. Не знаю, нахуй они нужны. Почему бы и не да. Да?
Oh, it's you again.
Недоступно.
Are you looking for a die?
Are you looking for a die? Звучит как будто ты ищешь смерть. Ебать. Там же трепет, да, был? Я ж, блядь, не...
Oh, it's you again.
Трепет.
Are you looking for...
Даже не... Хотя, что я там? Трепет. Ебать, он на днище. А стоит ли вот это качать? Ну ладно. А, точно, риторику тоже нужно было покачать, конечно. Трепет. Да, полумодеться в трепет. У меня вроде бы шмоток на трепет хватало, но не хватало. Раз. Минус трепет. Итого трепета у меня сколько? Плюс 3. Маловато, конечно.
Oh, it's you again. Are you looking for a die?
Давай попробуем.
A gust of cold air sweeps through the chimney. The stones and minerals on the shelves rattle as though agitated. For a moment, it almost feels as though you're outside the building, exposed to the atmosphere.
Didn't we already talk about this? What are you talking about? My address is exactly the same. Rue des Anguilans.
No, the old coal plant that used to be here was subsumed into the new venture. Its ruins swallowed up. Yet it has a different address in the heart of the city.
This doesn't make any sense. Are you saying my business was spared because of a technicality? Where is this coming from?
Не понял.
And what? Does it mean that I'm safe from failure?
She starts laughing, her fingers trying to rub away the exhaustion from her face.
Do you know what this is? It's a mourning ring. I made this when my first company failed. It was a small jewelry shop right here in the East Delta Commerce Center, built with the little I inherited from my parents. I drove it into the ground within a year. I didn't have what you would call a viable business plan. It wasn't just a jewelry shop either. I always thought that it was just the world you were supposed to try again. And now you're telling me what? That it was all because I didn't run my little shops and ventures from a dump inside an abandoned chimney? Yeah. Or maybe it's the entire world that's cursed. It's such a precarious place. That's why people like role-playing games. You can be whoever you want to be, you can try again. It's like every time you cast a die, something disappears. Some alternative ending, or an entire... But anyway, thanks for sharing your theories, officer. I'm sorry. I'm a bit overloaded just now, so I can only produce one die per customer. I'm sorry. I'm a bit...
Только одно ясно. Получил мысль. И на этом все. Мысль все. И 50 опыта. Которых на самом деле 5, наверное. Так, ну тут понятно, я ничего. Увы, не в силах поднять эту плиту.
The barbell waits patiently.
Почему мне башка-то болит? В честь чего? Потому что я... Пакетик.
Hello again, esteemed officer.
Oh, sorry, officer.
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone, a pull...
This is Precinct 57. How may I assist you? Yes.
The lieutenant leans in to listen, notebook in hand.
That suit of armor was issued to an Oranese citizen named Ellis Kortenaer. That's E-L-L-I-S K-O-R-T-E-N-A-I-R. Exact date of birth, unknown. He was signed into the Lelystad County Neonatal Care Unit on 28th of February, 09. He was found as a newborn in a leaf compactor near an abandoned farm. He spent 4 months in the neonatal unit, survived apparently, and was assigned to a foster family at 2. This is what the ICP knows about him. He was raised by foster parents, entered the East Brand Military Academy in Vredefort at 17, then served in the Oranese forces, then the armor followed him to Semenine, or at least I assume it did. And that's it. There are no records of his employment in Crenel, or any of its other incarnations, or him even entering Revachol. It's a garden tool used to press leaves into these cubes. It's a detail the hospital had, the only detail in these files.
It is. Thank you, Alice.
None, officer. Sorry.
Even that is a small miracle. These organizations usually double-check their inventory. Thank you.
No problem, Lieutenant.
The name. This is very good. Elise Cortenard.
Sometimes police work is about human dignity, about giving back names to anonymous victims.
I'm glad the inquiry was helpful to your investigation, officer. Did you have any other questions?
In the cabin, you see a set of steering levers, a radio on a...
Вот так вот. Теперь не хватает. Надо прокачать еще что-нибудь. Что-нибудь, что? Что-нибудь. Риторика, да. Да, риторика. Или эквилибристика. Или концептуализация. У меня на концептуализацию уже дохуя всего. Почему? Ну можно силу воли еще качнуть. Псковосия. Ну там легендарно, опасно, легендарно, немыслимо, невозможно. Сила воли. Да. Хуя, блядь, тут можно раскачать силу воли. Спрашивается только нахуя. Эквилибристика. Что может быть в контейнере? Все что угодно. Надеюсь, я там... Да, микрофон выключу. Что может быть в контейнере? Даже не знаю, что взять. Важно качать то, что определенно. Класс Е. Классе. Ну давай попробуем классе через силу воли пробить. Хотя сила воли совсем слабенький у меня, да? Ну, 3. Нахуй, с ним просто эквилибристика, нахуй. А риторика подождет. Ну и еще. А технику еще качать и качать. Ай. Определить, откуда был с пирса. Пирс. Пирс там.
I'll just keep the Corda Lacey in the channel, if that's okay. It's too shallow near the pier. Hi, ma'am. And it's a jetty, by the way. Of course. Jetty. I prefer a good jetty to a pier any day. Jetty? Hello, detectives.
Блять.
It's good to see you here. I only just...
What brings you here, madame?
Nothing, really. I've had my eye on this jetty for weeks now, so I decided to investigate it personally. This cluster of buildings isn't on any of the official maps, as far as I can tell.
That. And she's also keeping an eye on you.
Spying has such a negative connotation. I did track your progress along the coast, however, and decided then there's the matter of that little scamp in old lady clothes. She threatened to paint the cordelate she read. Like blood, you see. Well, I like it. How do I like it?
Water drips down eaves of Eternite. The jetty below her feet creaks to the tune. The smell of salt and dog shit in the background.
It's pornographically poor. The street has no name, all the men are dead or missing. And is that the carcass of a motor carriage over there? I'm surprised that woman hasn't put me to the sword yet. Maybe she will. You should ask your
Dark eyes survey the coast leading up to Martinez. Dull grey metal rests in her scabbard. A sword. The wind is too loud for her to hear.
Fortunately for you, madame, the RCM is on the scene.
All right. Politics time. Let's react.
Блядь.
That they don't.
Above you, there forms a quilt of altocumulus clouds, twisting into each other. Their cloud shadows slide over the ruins of Revachol West. Wherever they pass, the temperature... It's early spring, and the rains are coming. An officer enters a low hut of stone and wood. Inside, weapons are piled against the walls. Rifles with splinters. They're antiques, says Lieutenant John, the archetype McCoy, to his partner. They're digging them up from the catacombs now. The children carry them up. Come May, the streets will be flooded. Outside, the wind rattles the loose hatches. Flooded.
Have I told you how they discovered this place? No, they're in Celindian, Isola. Well, your condition has left you no worse off than most of these people. The literacy rate is around 45% west of the river. 50 years of occupation have left these people in an oblivion of poverty. I knew you would sympathize. Most Revacholians will never know what this place means. Our home. This island of matter. Or why they were ferried over in the first place. Remind me to tell you one day. For now, how can I assist you in this new location?
Do we?
I hear you have singled out a suspect and are in pursuit. This is cause for... Maybe there is something else I can assist you with, while you're hot in pursuit? Oh? A takeover? Taking it?
Green livery, changing into red, blocked by, like a cancer of the blood, metastasizing.
Then we're talking about a war. Everett needs to let me into the harbor at once. We need to talk about this. No. It's naive of me. He sent you. This is, and if he does not avert his course, it will be a war negotiation, detectives. An insane goal. Cronell has 1,000 men on their payroll. The next batch will be a platoon of 20 men and a gunship.
I've seen the Union's forces. They are better organized than these mercenaries. They also have the support of the people. It will take more than Cronell to wipe them out. Wild Pines will need to send more and better equipped men. Make no mistake, ma'am. I am sure you have the money. The question is, how many years and how many lives are you willing to sacrifice?
What do you suggest I do?
Охуеть, блядь. Решил поговорить, блядь. Пирс, причал, пирс. Ай, бля. Ах. Охуеть. Покорнут.
Everything affects the decision-making process.
Officer?
For once, I don't seem to know what the right thing to do is.
I'm afraid we won't disco our way out of this one. Of course. Your job is to clean up after them. And it looks like there will be a lot. What will I do?
Her arms fall to her sides.
Did I ever tell you how they discovered this Isola? During our reality lowdown? It may be the only break we've ever caught as a species. The last one for 400 years. The nations who colonized this Isola called theirs Muindi, the world. It was all they knew, all they thought would be. That there would be something more was a gamble, akin to another world. Or the Pale was thought to be impregnable, perpetual. Irene la Navigateur, the Queen of Suren, sent 8 expeditions, one after the other, into the mass at the edge of the world. 5 of the crews, it was anything but normal. There was no precedent. People thought she was punishing the Admiral. Until after years of trial and error, and the development of a strict psychological regime
called Volta Doma, or Return from the Sea.
The 8th expedition returned sane and intact. They told of a new continent of matter. They told the Queen and her counselor, Dolores Day, that the Pale had begun to condense, day after day, hour after hour, slowly raining down until it formed a vast ocean.
The air is cold and scented with petrichor. There are rain circles on water all around. Humidity crawls up your back like a piano trill. So does the lieutenant. His mouth is slightly open. The droplets feel warm, like spring rain.
The phenomenon has never again been encountered. For a time, the crew thought they were experiencing a hallucination. The mass hand proclaimed, "Lancielend, Lancielend," but they could not. They were sane and conscious, as islands began to appear on the horizon. There are 78,000 uninhabited islands in the Insulindian archipelago.
You've thought it a million times.
A total shift in human comprehension of reality. On the second day, a great skua was shot down above the flagship Lysergique. 4 years later, the Queen's Counselor was proclaimed Her Innocence Dolores Day, the elected world spirit. The age of humanism, internationalism, and parliamentary rule followed. We were high. On Caillou, the Pebble, the largest of the fertile, uninhabited islands of the northeast Insulindian archipelago. 4 centuries and 2 revolutions. The first living, autonomous organism. Proof of reality. It's the symbol of Insulinde, detective. The coat of arms of the suzerain and the wings on the crest of the commune. In your defense, it is a nasty creature who plucks food from the throats of lesser birds. Yet much like Revachol, it is also magnificent and rare. Imagine the suzerain of seagulls. The nations of Mundi proceeded to discover 5 more Isolae, but these others weren't uninhabited. We had to kill people there, wipe out indigenous populations, gunboat economies, or they came to do the same for us, or had done to each other. There was no one but the Skua, the Liliat Sea, and the Blood Beach, and the River Esperance. It was the new world. The Mondials used it to amass the greatest concentration of wealth mankind has ever seen. Revolution, poverty, and the mercurial rise of capitalism. It is. Soon it will be spring and everything will...
The gangs will run wild, jacking motor carriages, ferrying amphetamines through Coal City. Spring is tough in Revachol.
I will surrender Terminal B to the Union.
She puts her hand in the rain. She's silent.
We will see.
Ma'am, this may well unravel property law this side of the river. If that occurs, we may never see the end of this kind of confrontation. The next time there will be 2 strikes, then 4, then 100.
What happens will happen. The age of capital has only begun. I will talk to my employers in person. We will amputate and cauterize Martinez, if you handle the situation on the ground.
There are no employers. She's a member of the board, probably a partner.
You are the citizens' militia. There are no superiors.
That's right, Detective. And next time, you should confer with them before you go setting events in motion.
Despite his words, he's not really sure whether to be annoyed with you. Events are already in motion. Whether your actions accelerated or momentarily retarded their progress, even the lieutenant cannot really say.
I have not deceived you. I told you exactly who I was. Rejoice Layton. Keep the peace, and I will keep my end of the bargain.
How far along is Prunell's investigation?
The confrontation is imminent. They have followed in your footsteps. As your investigation reaches a climax, so does theirs. They are your shadow. Arm you. Protect their targets. Violence may be unavoidable, but we can limit the casualties. Soon. I do not know precisely. They have cut off all communication, you see. One last thing, Lieutenant Dubois. I've given the matter much thought and come to this conclusion. You're not an amnesia, I know, because I, too, am insane. I just hide my illness better. And I'm rich. No, Detective. No one's as insane.
Don't worry, Madame. I am very sane.
I'm overexposed, baby. My travels take me through the Pale dozens of times a year. I've got the longing.
She would die to return to it. The pale, the past, anything one can return to.
The same strict psychological regimen the 8th Admiral developed when he crossed the Pale and discovered this Isola, the Volta do Mar. It's used by inter-Islary travelers and other troubled souls, even to this.
You could use a little of it yourself.
Watch out for yourselves. They will strike soon.
The lieutenant watches her boat grow smaller on the bay. With worry in his eyes, he does not know if it was the right thing to do. You wonder what Everard has to say about this. Slowly, the sails turn grey-blue as more oxygen gets...
Нормально. Душевно. Значит, это причал, а не пирс. Хорошо, где есть пирс тогда.
Aye, the sea's gonna calm down soon, I can feel it. The wind is turning southeast. What's on your mind, officer?
На похуй. Пойдем на остров.
Our tenant, the policeman. I hope the waves don't keep... Nay, I haven't seen any...
Because she's blind, which you seem to have forgotten.
This is my little cinder block town. I know what goes on around here.
She's being evasive. She knows something.
There was a murder in Martinez. She might be a suspect. We would appreciate you.
Would you now? I know how this world works, and it doesn't work when people tell on each other. No, it's not like that, man. With him we called you. Right now, you just arrived by yourself, like a raven plucking at the window glass. There's not much to tell. People come and go. Now, was there some...
I see, ma'am. I hope you don't mind if we look around anyway.
You should look around your shack. Maybe she's rented it out to others too. A brisk coastal wind still howls against the window of the shack. Occasionally, the waves crawl in under the foundation, producing a low hum. The room feels muffled, like you pulled your hat over your ears. Outside, it is cold and windy, but you're inside, and it feels...
What is this place to you?
Да ты заебал.
Waves crash onto the beach, drowning the reeds. Far to the south, this could have been you. This could still be you. A down-on-his-luck nobody, trying to survive. Outside, the howl of the wind has picked up. The waves crash against the...
Look under the floorboard.
As you look at the floorboards in this corner of the shack, it's clear the edge of a floorboard next to it looks scratched. Hollow space underneath the floorboards is dark and damp. You can barely make out the mixture of sand and sawdust below. Nothing particular catches your eye. Looks like more reeds. There might be something hidden inside. You stick your hand in and start combing through the sand. Dry, not like outside. Fine dust. A small cylindrical object. You pull it out. A bullet. A 9mm bullet, to be exact. Fit for all muzzle loaders of that caliber. Like your own Villiers pistol, for example. The floorboard doesn't care. But maybe the washerwoman does. You have enough to confront her with. It's extra ammunition. She's locked and loaded, ready to fight some cops.
Прикольненько.
On the table, you see a bowl of... An old mirror hangs on. The bed is comforting.
Так, ладно. Так, можно концептуализацию качнуть еще разочек. Не, риторику не буду, идите нахер. Я, блядь, уже наговорился с этими самыми. Наговорился с вещами. Так. 100 миллион. Гласье. На самом деле потом можно будет попытаться. А куда пули-то девались? Просто нашел пулю и все, патроны. Целых 2 штуки.
Our tenant, the policeman. I hope the waves don't keep you up at night. What can I have? Damn that girl.
And without anger, a long and harsh life has taught her not to buckle under pressure.
But you didn't put it there, did you? She did.
Gone and hid things in there? She's usually a good tenant, and not a stupid one either. Yes, I let my room to that Ruby girl. As I've done before when she's been in trouble or just looking for solitude. I've made it clear. She came last Friday, left on Monday in a hurry. What has she gotten herself into, that girl?
That's for the police to find out. Right then, please answer each question to the best of your ability. I'm sure we have a few.
Yes, early with the dogs, around 8.
She probably heard the Lieutenant's Kanema drive by, and it woke her up, just like it did you.
Yes, that is a downside of having a 130 kilowatt engine. It lets the bad guys know when you are coming.
I cleaned it, like I always do. No.
The truth, sire.
She's good company. Knows how to talk to an old woman. At my age, you don't get a lot of quality.
Did she talk to you much during her last stay?
No, she was mostly silent this time. Kept to her. She tried not to let it show, but I could tell she hadn't come to fish. Usually she likes to cast a few lines, but this time she mostly stayed in her room. How would I know? She's a gruff one, but not violent. She doesn't go around toting a gun. Nothing of the sort. Sure, she was no stranger to the bottle. She fit in that way. But I only knew her to have a beer on the... She isn't what you call a drunk. Even offered me some from time to time. Said it was part of the communal life. But I never saw her lose control of herself, the way some people do. Not that I know of, though she was into nice music. She once showed me a few mixtape millions she'd made. Although I guess she was pretty handy with the mechanical and technical stuff. Even fixed the heater in the shack.
She may simply have kept the equipment elsewhere.
I don't know. Further up the coast, she tried to leave quietly, but the hinges on that door screeched like a cat in heat. Woke me up.
It's a peninsula. She might be trapped.
You'll never find her, you know. She knows the coast like the back of her hand. You only just are.
I wouldn't worry about that, man. We are persistent.
Yes, it's going to be too much work for you to find her. Better for you to stay here, get a nice cozy fire going in the heater.
The failed electric mural. You feel like you should go look at it again. Step closer this time.
What more do you want to know about that poor girl? Yes, let's say one thing, officer. If you do find her, please go easy on her.
She really means it. It's an honor.
She's a good girl. Whatever she's gotten her...
С пирса. Пирс это где у нас остается? В Епеневых. Пирса с края земли и с острова. Да ёб твою... Что это было, нахуй? А ну бегал клавиатурой.
Rust peels off the bent iron posts of the swing. The wind whistles through the skeleton of the small house behind you. There's desolation.
In this yard?
He's assessing the situation. How long ago?
Someone thought they could have a summer house in a bloc obscure. For cheap. It didn't work out. They abandoned it about a decade ago. A black bloc. A part of the city left unrenovated after the war. Or one that has fallen to gang violence.
On aerial photos, block obscures look like dark squares, hence their name.
Practically, it's not an official term in any way, but look around. No sewage, broken power lines, crime, drunks. Life.
Да, непонятно. Пирс, причал, пирс. Да не, все оттуда можно только.
This coin operated.
Hello again, officers. Have you...
Явно не про это говорили, да? Ясно, непонятно. Почему прямо с крыши проклятого здания вот этого шмальнуть? В мотокарете ничего не осталось. Спрашивайте Руби, найдите буй. Побережье к западу от пирса. А что такое пирс? Где-то в тростнике есть буй. В нем хранятся поддельные документы мисс Ранской. Пирса. Я не знаю, что такое пирс. Если там это был причал, то, блядь, хуй знает. Что это такое пирс.
The scruffy-haired little boy kicks a stone while the other watches him do it.
What bad people?
I don't think questioning 4-year-olds without their parents present is gonna crack the case.
Tequila sunset. Can't really remember seeing any women after losing my keys.
He really has no idea who this Ruby is, sire.
The legend! He's back. And thirsty. I got smokes and piss and a little... Uncle.
There's...
Понятно.
Hello, mister. Luby. Raluby. My mom tells me I'm a big girl, but she doesn't know that I can't say Earl. Or like, sometimes I can't.
Kids.
Bye!
Ким, сука. С хуёвым опытом, блядь.
Winter, slow to let go of Revachol. Flecks some more wet snow from above. The snow falls lazily, making the beach sand paler still. It has been a colder year. All things waiting for spring will have to wait a bit longer. Looking up at the sky, melted snow dripping from your hat. The sky is full of great battleships. White clouds collide with one another, and you're warm in your hat and your coat. Like a well-equipped explorer, you comfortably survey the white landscape. More winding coastlines lined with abandoned buildings, crumbling piers, salt water lapping at their dark part. The waters turn black, coal city in the shadow of San Martin, a boomtown. Back when coal extracted from countless shafts in it, no more. The coal was supplanted by petroleum from the ocean floor and hydropower from the Esperance. Everything crumbled below the old mines. L'Océan Municipal, Revachol's underground cemetery. La Petite brave, where the Philippian kings were interred, with their doctors and their admirals. Mausoleums, burial chambers, leaf gold still remains on the... Yes, to peel the gold off with his fingernails. Children under 14, they go underground looking for artifacts to sell to foreign museums and for fabled relics. Their parents let them. They go deep. After rubies, melchiorite, lapis lazuli, plundered from Safle and Seol during the time of the 2 kilometers underground, in a winding shaft along whose walls mirrors have been placed, so that daylight may eternally fall upon the richest of all the kings. The mausoleum contains untold quantities of gold, and that special, purest of the pure magenta cocaine, favored by Revacholian royalty.
Нахуй мне этот кокаин, блядь.
How can it be pure if it's magenta? Snow falls, and there is no answer. Some things are not for mortals to know. Few Petira return from the shafts. Even fewer find what they're looking for. A small child steps out of the black tunnel with silver trinkets in her pockets. All around her, white snow on the extinguished coke furnaces and on the weather-worn shacks where fathers beat their sons after drinking. The snow melts on your fingers, turning to the canal you crossed to get here and beyond it. Martinez proper, that someone is scraping snow off their windshield at the roundabout, in the midst of which a statue of Philip III serves as a destination for grade school feel. Like all monuments, it's also a warning. 6-story ruins on the south side of the roundabout cast along a fenced-off yard. There's a truck belonging to a logistics company parked next to the gate. Clean white light coming from the windows of a clean cube-shaped office building. Hidden, an abandoned church that's being turned into a dance club. 4 U's are harder. A serpentine strip of land weaving its way into the Martinez Inlet. Unfortunates on the run from the law, from themselves, sometimes hide out on nearby islets. Little dots in the ocean that are the remains of a camp on a jagged piece of rock, a tent, old dishes and cutlery, long since abandoned. Further out, the lights burn bright on Resurrection, way beyond Martinez, a popular spa destination for ample-bodied Ozon kids with equally. Then there's Ozon, but the snow falls too thick. You cannot. The Bay of Revachol, Vastness, great depth, over 1,200 meters at its deepest. Water, air brinier than here. And at the farthest reaches of the Bay of Revachol, the shadow of the Coalition warship, Archer, on perpetual patrol duty, ready to unleash artillery fire if you were to rise up against the raised motorway, 881, separating Martinez from Jamrock. Vehicles whoosh past one another day and night, while those who reside was once a park, a place for reflection and recuperation for the patients of the old military hospital. In the 20s, it was used as a quarantine center. The pox is completely wild now. Evergreen thickets covered in snow and industrial dust. Feral dogs and even wolves roaming in packs. The police, heavy drug users do slip through and hole up in the old military hospital, hoping to find something to get high on among the hasty. A line of motor garages with armored carapaces hunched in the cold. A mechanic is hard at work, patching up bullet holes in the side of a Capri 40. These are the garages of Precinct 41. Snow settles on the roof of the repurposed silk mill. Around you, the snow continues to fall. To the west, the ocean swells. The stairs descend to central Jamrock. A man named Cooklove has a snow-covered stall there in the market across the bridge. He sells kebab infested with fly. Snow falls on the utility district, the library, the florist, the Sarah Mauritian restaurant, all of this built around a lake that formed in a meteorite strike. At the center of this lake, there is a little ship. A chill comes over you, crawling down your back. The sand under your feet is wet. Some near, snow falls into dark water. She prays, that's all. Layer upon layer of sand, poisoned with industrial runoff. The storm drainage, hidden bunkers. Rats scuttle. Someone stuffed a big old polar anorak into a concrete pipe under the boardwalk. It would keep you warm. You would probably never happen across it. But who knows?
Я уже спиздил.
We should keep moving. Who knows when the snow will let up.
Хуя-то, блядь. Почему не накидал мне с самого начала эту хуйню? Нужно здесь его искать. Подозрением, блять. Хуй знает, вроде бы. Как это сделать? Зайдем к нашим товарищам.
Oh, hey, man. It's good to see you. Goodbye, officer.
Ну давай, попробуем. Хули нет. Почему бы и не, да. Эквилибристика. Нет. На эквилибристику только очки. Какая дичь. Вероятно, с эквилибристикой я погорячился. Не, определенно.
Oh, hey man, it's good to see you.
Блять. Ладно.
Goodbye, officer.
Welcome back. No,
Just no?
it's pretty desolate here. I only hear the dogs bark at night.
Teenagers skulking around. Gang members looking for a hole in the Union's defenses. Maybe Ruby too. But she wouldn't be able to tell from here.
Exactly. It's our chance to turn the grim desolation into an overwhelmingly fun dance party.
Yo, man, what's on your mind?
Концептуализация. Белый пиджак с белой рубашкой повышает концептуализацию. Ребята, будьте в курсе. Что, все? Только плюс 2 концептуализации. Подождите, еще вроде бы что-то было. Киньте очки концептуализации. Да, походу это все. Должно хватить.
Yo, man, what's on your mind?
Dedicated, hyperactive, unified. You will have to add something of your own to understand this list of loosely formed qualities called hardcore. Test your limits. Surpass them. Dance till you drop. Dance till you die, if you must. If you fear it, let it happen. Keep on dancing till the world ends.
Yes, what is it? What? No. No one's suspicious.
She has not seen her, sire. 'Tis true.
Yo, man. What's on your mind?
The mother of humanism stands above you.
Good morning! Yeah! Hardcore!
Секундочку, мне что, технику... Технику мне ничего не уменьшать, правильно же? А что может мне ее увеличить? Техника мне только перчатки. Блять, наверняка только перчатки. Да. Ну что ж, давай еще раз.
Good morning! Yeah! Hardcore!
Side chain beat. Listen, you can use the compressor to select between which track it's compressing, either the auxiliary signal or the main input from the tape. Make it alternate between the signals. The compressor controls the gain based on the level of the signal on the aux sidechain input. It will allow maintaining a loud sound without peaks that fill up all the headspace.
Sidechaining it, you said?
Then he puts on his headphones and his eyes go wide, wider than they've ever gone on drugs. He starts jumping up and down, with bliss, in total silence.
Hey, what did you do to Egghead Cop, man? Did you break him?
Are you ready, pussy?
Noid straightens his back, ready for the beat.
I was born ready, Egg.
On the stage, intensely waving his hand in the air.
This is beauty! This is life!
What in the world is going on? The way melody and bass flow together.
Your body is taking a beating from the low frequencies crashing over you. It's making you feel alive again.
This is wild. God damn it. This dance club idea might just work out.
DeLorean Church! The place to be! Pump it!
This is it. This is a new era. The fabric. Who will be the innocence of hardcore melodic dance music?
Oh, hey man, it's good to see you.
Ох, нихуя. Нихуя себе, блядь, там.
Goodbye, officer.
Чё мне давало эквилибристику, простите? Только вот это, да? Блядь, я идиот, я проверяю всегда. Еще раз, потому что в себе я не уверен больше, чем в ком-либо еще.
Oh, hey man, it's good to see you.
You close your eyes and vacate your skull, leaving your brain to wonder, where did that little fluttering light?
Total darkness.
Охуеть.
You sink down the darkest fathoms of your own personal deep. Vertebrate, here it will begin. Who fucking cares? No, not orgasmic. Oh, don't worry. The music's still there. It's you who is gone. This is a pivotal moment. Try not to piss yourself. Nothing. Just the immaculate silence of your spinal fluid. Electrified.
I'm gonna let you in on a little secret.
Every
vertebrae in your spine is an unformed skull ready to pop up and replace the old one. Like shark teeth. The one you're currently in has a little to rule the world. Yes, it's all true. In the spinal cord.
From what I can see, it's about to bust a move.
Foolhardy! Do you even know what's happening on the surface? Maybe 1,000... With your eyes still closed, the first thing you feel, all the way back in the pivoting darkness of your own torso, is warmth. You have become a triumph of rhythmoplastics. Somewhere in a smelly wooden church on the coast of Revachol. As you open your eyes, you should scream, hyper, hyper. It seems appropriate.
Это кажется уместным. Концептуализация? Ну, допустим.
You have become a flawless interlocking mechanism. A flesh and bone approximation of the throb coming from the speaker setup of the one-chord eggheads. Entirely, rigidly, imbecilic, without pity or fear.
Я там. Оп, 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 оп. Нихуя он там. Бля. Охуенен пацан.
Free from self-awareness, no deliberation, only, and I mean only, execution.
Oh my god! No way!
With his reel-to-reel mixer blasting the anthem of a future that will never come, the young man observes your moves for a second. He throws a screwdriver and a bunch of drill chucks into the corner and explodes into dance. What he lacks in sharpness, he more than makes up for in violent enthusiasm. The young woman lifts her headphones up slightly and raises her chin, looking at you.
Assume? Aren't you going to dance? No. Recording.
The lead programmer throws the other young woman a knowing glance before turning her attention back to. She's still at her mainframe, pressing buttons, reading printouts, but she started nodding her head along to the music. The young man immediately bounces up and down, then assumes the same dance pattern, embellishing it with some sort of waving motion.
What's going on here? Delinquents.
This is clearly a Code 31 emergency. The lieutenant squeezes the bridge of he's obviously having trouble adjusting to this new reality.
A Code 31 emergency? Really?
The lieutenant crosses his arm.
What's happening? Good for you. Rock on, then. What?
Who's the one in charge? You are.
Are you kidding me?
Блять. Какая хуйня. Какая веселая хуйня.
my what on?
Sheesh, okay.
Okay, you psychopath. I see what you're doing there. It's jacked up footwork, plus is that Ubi folk dancing?
Nah, it's not whoopee folk. It's hardcore.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Oh yeah? I did 15 years in the juvenile crime unit. I can do age inappropriate. Now, check this shit out.
The lieutenant begins to heel kick the church floor with such intensity, it's reasonable to fear he'll kick a hole right through it, causing the floor to crack and the pillars to collapse, bringing the church roof down on all of you.
Какая дичь. Ебать это.
It doesn't look like he'd give a shit either. The dynamic motion of your flailing body is bordering on the extreme. You feel as if turning on the hyperdrive would be a point of no return. Feels almost memorable. Are you sure you have the entire pussy on for this?
Блять, я хуй знает. Ладно. Чисто похуй.
Here we go again! Hardcore filthy! The sound above my hair!
The what now? The sound above your what?
Above my hair, man!
Okay, this is too imbecilic. Excuse me.
On the coast of the Martinez Inlet, in a small weather-beaten slave church built 380 years ago by settlers from the Occident, most likely to guard against an anomaly at its center, an officer of the RCM is contorting his body into idiotically rigid shapes. Has he invented?
I am La Revacholière. I am the city. I am a fragment of the world spirit. My heart is the wind corridor. The bottom of my air is red. I have 100. Come morning, I carry industrial dust and let it settle on tree leaves. I shake that. I've seen you. I've seen you. I've seen you with her. And I've seen you without her.
Тяжело играть психом,
Seen
блять.
you in the crescent of the hill. The modulations of my voice are noted down with thermometers and barometers. You feel me, and I also reside in your lungs and vestigial organs. You are an officer of the citizens' militia, Jean Tinrebu. You move through my streets freely, in motor carriages and on foot. I need you. You can keep me on this earth. Be vigilant. I love you.
An officer of the RCM is lying on the floor of a small church with his eyes rolled back and his tongue lolling out.
Had a good rest there?
Fuck yeah! I bet you did. Those were some advanced...
That's all great, but we should really get going. We spent enough time doing aerobic exercise for...
You might be imagining it, but it feels like Egghead turned the volume down.
Man! Now, man! Now imagine if we could do that, right? But with like 1,000 people. End of human development. Mission complete. All right.
You're absolutely beat. muscles relaxed and feet like noodles underneath.
Goodbye, officer.
Ну охуеть. Осталась штанга, томелиом и классье. Да, кстати, ты план не видел, Руби?
Oh, the god of dance is back. I'm dancing with goodbye, officer.
Hardcore.
Yes, what is it?
Good morning! Yeah!
The mother of humanism stands above you. A precious... Why? That does seem to be a problem. Maybe you meant something else? The mother of human...
Сколько нужно для красной проверки?
An old door, worn by elements, guards the depot. The wind has blown a sand dune in front of it. The door hasn't been...
From here to the whirling, I can't see how. The church is in the way.
Is there something here that would indicate a sniper used this place as a nest for taking the shot? Just some urban detritus, a bottle, and a dilapidated old comms tower. In the distance you can hear the breakers roar.
I don't see it, Lieutenant W. Freitor. I don't see a person take a shot here and hit something there, in the whirling in rags. To warm his hands before pulling the trigger? Perhaps, but anyone could have made this. The coast is specked with... Truthfully, this seems like a very poor choice to take a 1.2 kilometer rifle shot from. Visibility is awful. There's water vapor everywhere. I think we can rule out... Biddable Prime, was it? It's not possible to climb that ladder. And even if it were, why? There's no...
It does look extremely rickety. And wouldn't help much either.
Those? A smoking assailant who favors Tumutiri to Astra or Joanne? Cigarette butts are everywhere. This is a common brand for all men.
Still, you felt it was important enough to make a mental note. That means something. You didn't pay attention to any of the other cigarette butts on the coast. There. 1.2 kilometers over the cold water of the bay, blue from the distance and the air. You see a glowing light on the third floor of the whirling in rags. With binoculars, you would see a young woman's shape move behind the glass.
Эмпатия, сила воли. Эмпатия, сила воли. Штанга, грубая сила. Даже не знаю. Легендарно, опасно, легендарно. тростнике за пирсом, мать его. На побережье к западу от пирса. К западу, понятно. Мало шмоток на технику. Мне не докачаться до 20.
There's some tear.
Hello again. No, I'm afraid I can't help you with this one, officer. It's just a regular day.
So you haven't seen anyone around?
No, I'm sorry. As I said, this is just a day off. We just arrived anyway.
There's something friendly and familiar in how he says that. A day off. He's telling the truth. He hasn't seen it. You see, a once bright mural towering above you. A slogan used to intertwine with the loops a long time ago. Now, only a shadow of peeled above the mural, a collapsed roof, broken windows set in walls that are cracking and will soon also fall, and the coastal breeze rustling and sighing in the remains of the Feld Electrical. How ironic. All these dark rooms. Feld Electrical, you only know them as a small company that makes ink cartridges. Looks like there's something in the wind. Sometimes the only way to go forward is to fail first.
In there? She could. Or she could be in the identical room over there. Or in that boat shack. In that church tower, maybe.
Why single out this one building?
На этом будет конец.
Even though you're sure you succeeded, all is quiet. There is no cold hand brushing against your forehead, no rustle in the reeds. The wind has died down. The ruin in front of you is silent, trying to talk to the wind. The city, whatever you thought would happen, did not. And now you're just is trying to talk to the city something you've done before? Is it in your secret repertoire? A trick for when you're out of ideas?
How do we? I was really hoping she'd be in the village. She's probably north of the village, and this place is a peninsula. We already scanned most of the outdoor areas on our wild cryptid hunt, so we have an understanding of the geography, at least. And then there's the church. We've already searched that and can rule it out. I know it doesn't feel like progress, but exclusion is a step too. Anyway, we do it the old-fashioned way, sector by sector. Go over the whole peninsula, ask the locals, enter the places where we can enter first, like we did in the village. Then, if we're desperate, we can look where we can't enter. Bunkers, storm drainage, this place. I'm sure it won't come to that.
Walk the coast, the old boardwalk, the reeds. You can always come back here and talk to the wind again. An adventure awaits. An adventure on the windswept urban coast.
В смысле, я, блядь, теперь каждый раз могу трепаться с ветром? Сюда я приперся. Похоже на канализацию. Стопэ.
The light vanishes inside the concrete slit. The structure goes deep under the earth.
No idea. Could be connected to one of the buildings around here. We might find her down somewhere. There's an old storm drain system beneath Martinez that's mostly collapsed. Revachel's sewage system has been built and rebuilt. In conclusion, she could be under any building. I hope not.
Maybe it's just a storm drain for the sewer. There's no echo and no answer. A metal and plastic contraption bobs up and down amidst the trembling reeds. At first, it just...
That, over there. Must be the boy class she told us about. The one she hid her passport in. We should take a look.
You lift the boy out of the water without much effort. It's not tied to anything. The cords dangling from the bottom appear to have been cut. The number 11 has been written on the yellow plastic. It hasn't been in the water for very long, but it's already discolored and slimy with silt. A latch holds it close, but only just barely.
Simple construction. Very unsafe.
It smells like you would expect it to smell. A concentrated version of the coast. Salt. The water this side of the peninsula is cleaner. Actually, smells a little salty. There's something in there, splashing around. A shot glass's worth of seawater pours out, some algae, and nothing else.
Well, damn. We still got here too late. There's nothing of use here anymore. I have no idea. Or think we do. This is a small loose end, either way. Not important, I hope. That may very well be the case. We should keep an eye on her.
You could ask the miss what she thinks, later if you have the time, though you doubt she'll tell you much at this point.
С острова из пирса. Я был на пирсе и был вроде как на острове. Но мысли не возникло.
A row of ghostly shades facing a crumbling wall, with another 7 shades stand a cold.
Always my pleasure.
There's no way the perk is in here, officer. Look how scarred the boards are. All attempts to pry them off have failed. Not this time. The opposition is insurmountable. But I like the spirit. And dangerous. Dangerous too.
The suspect? God, I hope not. I can't see a way in, though many have tried.
Побежали, блядь. Сюда не попасть. Надо пиздохать на текст тогда. Где я там все знаю? Пирс и остров.
You pick up the handset. There's a tone. The machine is operable.
Так, остров не вычеркнут? Нет. Если вижу этот остров. Или это не остров, например. Или остров внизу? Сначала попробуем еще раз пирс потопать. Ну и хули.
There's some tear, an empty cigarette package, and a No.
A tragedy.
He shakes his head.
С пирса, с острова. Ну, я на пирсе. Чё еще? Чё вам еще надо? Немножко ниже. Пирс. Остров. Жить на нем легко и просто, жить на нем легко и просто, чунга-чанга. Нет, это не остров. Что они подразумевают под ебаным островом? Что они подразумевают, блять, под пирсом, нахуй? Да, того мне это.
A few local path. The trap is forth.
Шел, блядь, 5-й час беготни. Выживали как могли, блядь. Остров. Все пиздели про остров.
The once bright mural towers above. Suddenly, there's a sigh, carried on the molecules around you, moving, flowing from high pressure to low pressure, like that of a woman emptying her lungs. She wraps the collapsing in through the collapsed roof, flowing down a concrete staircase to the basement, sweeping away footprints in the dust on the stairs, and then the beach below the boardwalk, its winding tunnels, a whisper away.
She's down there.
Okay. Why? Right. How do we get in there? The doors were on the collapsed side.
Finally, my time to shine.
Perhaps you can climb them. We are not climbing anything. I'm 43 years old, and I plan to live to see 70.
There has to be a way to use brute force. Climbing sounds unsafe. Brute force is safe. Look around and find something to break if the ladder... A rusty ladder leads to the rooftop. Some of the rungs are missing.
Yeah, that doesn't look good at all.
The distances between the remaining rungs are rather wide. You'd have to use the mounting brackets. However, they seem correct. In addition, the first rung is going to be tough to reach. It's what, 3 meters above the ground? And you're 180? Not to mention that the roof is collapsing and the wind gets pretty brutal up there. Dismounting from the ladder is going to be hard. Perhaps if you were to... What if you were to do something more... What if you were to reconceptualize climbing the ladder? Astral projection. Be open-minded about this.
О, Господи.
Teleportation is not a thing. This really has nothing to do with adventure. We are dealing with basic physics here. Oh yes, it could hurt a lot.
Понятно. Я думаю, нам пока сюда еще... Опа, рано. А это что такое?
peeks out from beneath the rotting boards of the boardwalk. Could this be an alternative path into the building like this must have multiple doors serving various functions. Perhaps a basement X. Your eyes slowly begin to adjust to the darkness inside. The lieutenant looks over your shoulder. An ordinary drainage pipe. Darkness. As your eyes adjust, you see some trash. Crumpled up newspapers, cigarette butts. Someone has half-heartedly spray-painted skulls on the rock. And nothing. Broken glass from bottles thrown against the walls of the pipe. A syringe. An ordinary drainage pipe. As your eyes adjust, you see some and nothing. Broken glass from bottles thrown against the walls of the pipe.
Given that this isn't a martial arts thriller, it's highly unlikely, and not without risk too. However, the pipe suggests there may be an entrance to the basement around.
He means the pipe must be coming from somewhere.
And it's right here, a maintenance door.
It's jammed shut. The subtle approach isn't going to work on this one.
Это все очень прекрасно. Мне, блядь, нужно узнать, где, блядь, на пирсе, где пирс, где остров. Ладно. Я не представляю, как все это проверить. Если вот здесь сказали нам, что мешает церковь.
An old door, worn by elements, guards the depot.
From here to the wiring, I can't see how. The church is in the way.
Just dead.
И что до острова? Остров там, где пацаны тусовались. Почему-то там диалога нет нахуй. По сути, здесь мешает церковь. Где она не мешает. Сука, блядь. Как эта игра работает, не совсем понимаю. Вот он остров. Ну, по сути. Мне здесь церковь не мешает. Обзор должен быть нормальный, нет? Где ебаные мысли? Не знаю, может на какую-то хуйню нужно наступить. И пирс весь обходил, эту хуйню обходил. Что еще надо? Невнятно, непонятно. Хоть гугли, блядь. Где, блядь, мысль поймать? Что-то сюда шмалить было нельзя.
Either sea's gonna calm down soon, I can feel it. Oh? Who? Okay. When did this person stay here? Oh. I've been out on the sea for most of the past week. The weather's been good for fishing, so I usually start at 4 in the morning. Yes, that's the optimal time. Got to make the most of the calm. I've been sleeping like a corpse after. The sea really takes its toll. No, sorry I couldn't help you out. Maybe I can help you find someone else. Well, how can I assist you then, officer?
The trap.
Странная картинка падает. Пирс и остров.
We can sit on benches after we've solved the murder.
You can revisit the bench.
Tequila.
Tequila Sunset. Sunset, интересно, как переводится? Выбор солнца? Что есть выбор? Сет. Не помню. Блядь, отсюда можно было взять быстро. Вроде бы все здесь обходили. Да, все, что можно было, наступило. Придется, не знаю, гуглить. Ладно, хули. Пошли за рубой. Для начала разобьемся насмерть. Что вы хотите?
A rusty ladder leads to the rooftop.
Ботинки у меня есть на эквилибристику. Вот они, нет, не они. Вот они. А, это скорость реакции. На эквилибристику у меня что? Хотя я поди танцевал в эквилибристике. Эквилибристику мне давали только очки. Правильно? Не, серьезно, вы что, издеваетесь? Вот он, да. Так, и, наверное, тапки на скорость реакции лучше одеть. Так, что-то чувствую, понадобится мне.
The rusty ladder leads to the rooftop. All you need to do is close your eyes and concentrate. Darkness enfolds you. You can feel the distance between the zoot, zap, pow, crinkle. It's like magic. You feel yourself disappear. Your atoms.
Oh my god, I can't believe it.
Bam! You find yourself on the roof, having mastered the art of physical displacement.
Что? Блять, что?
I just saw you climb the ladder. You just climbed it like a regular person.
No, not like a regular person. Like a phased spider. The wind at the top of the building starts howling loudly, blowing away.
Never mind. Find a way to let me in when you get inside. Don't go adventuring with a backup, especially if we think the suspect may be...
Ладно, эквилибристика мне больше не нужна, мне нужен визуальный анализ, блять. Сука. Опа. Лететь индоу. Интересно сказано. Так, на эту кружку попасть нельзя. Что там?
This isn't just glass. These are old computation components. Yes, filament memories. From the time when wires were cast in glass, slides with an inlaid nervous system. The how was a closely guarded secret. Something that was locked in safes in human heads across the river where they were manufactured. As to why, the why is easy. Because they hadn't come up with modern silicon-based systems yet. For vitreous cast filament memories, though, these seem incredibly advanced.
Блять, больше пиджаков, бог пиджаков.
Two rusty metal plates that slide apart form a crude door. It's been here under the boardwalk for a while.
What do you mean, who's there? It's me, Kim. Stop playing around and help me get the door open.
The doors seem to be on rails, but they've gotten jammed. You grab a side and put some strength into prying it open. With the...
Huh. I hope no one dangerous heard that. Yes. Time to investigate these passages. Let's move quietly and not make more sound.
Not running is a great way to do that. Could this have been the killer's hideout? And this narrow window, the point of origin of the shot that killed the mercenary? This does look like an embrasure, a slit made for shooting out of. Outside the window, desolation. Snow falls softly onto the coastal sand, where it melts almost instantly. On rooftops,
It's a great place to hide, certainly. But there hasn't been anyone here in ages. Indeed. No one could get a clear view. Well, at least we've been thorough.
The lieutenant's voice betrays a slight disappointment, which he glosses over by
Ебать. Окей, давай. Шапка, ушанка. Неправильно. Заебись.
This hat is so soft, so warm. It wraps around your head, and your mind tingles with all manner of socio-economic theory. Kraz Mazov would have worn this, Yushenka. Mazov knew where to cook those thoughts. That's wide. Glory to the revolution, comrade. Whether you like it or not.
Сука, блять, ладно. Ладно, шапку на место. Пиджак. О, с розочкой. Что, мыслей нет? Ну ладно. Пусть розочка ходит.
A mustachioed and mutton-chopped man, amateurishly depicted, gazes at you with sad eyes. The plaque reads, K. Mazov. The year's worth of dust is shaken off. The full head of hair, matched by an ample moustache and sideburns, look a bit silly.
Yes. Looks like some latter-day radicals were hiding out here. They left a long time ago. Half a century? This was probably part of the network of defense posts the communards built against the amphibious landing. I think the purpose of this bunker was to produce propaganda. It would have had radio equipment back then, but that's all been looted. We have found a lot of those lately. I guess what most people think of as history tends to linger in rundown neighborhoods. Martinez being what it is.
Good hiding place for someone who's up to no good.
I won't stand in your way, but only after we're through with this case. Millions of depictions of Mazov have been produced. They're not all connected. Besides, that looked like some student. The youths always go for this kind of stuff. You mean like Ruby? No, I think we've stumbled on a piece of history.
There it is again, like a swarm of hornets buzzing under your scalp. A strange tingling you can almost
No, what do you mean? I don't feel it, but we should still be careful. There were footprints back there, and I'm pretty sure they were fresh. Looks like our suspect. If she's in here, we need to plan our... Once we detain a credible suspect, who knows what the Union and the Wild Pines will do. We'll set in motion...
You will upset the balance of power in Martinez. The deadlock... This part of town is a fine clockwork puzzle. Disturb its peace, and it will start breaking down. Keep calm. Go over the whole situation in detail.
I leave that to your judgment. You already know what I think about cross-pollinating information.
He just can't be sure. Maybe it will yield something useful.
I still don't think that was a good idea. But yes, our affairs with the Wild Pines are in order.
Someone's been a very busy boy. Good on you.
Okay, why not? Whatever goes down might also affect her. The Union is watching her.
Not closely enough, you suspect. But still, good idea to visit her once more.
Well, we are not responsible for what we can't predict, are we? I don't think the...
If you can't predict it, there's nothing you could have done.
I think I see a cavern. Maybe more cellars? I think we've been careful enough. We still have the element of surprise.
I wouldn't be so sure. You haven't exactly been sneaking.
Or maybe not. Either way, once we go deeper, there will be no turning back.
А это вот типа намек. Вернись, ты не все посмотрел. Не со всеми поговорил. Типа это конец. Давай свалим. Траектория выстрела с острова. У острова, на который я выйду. Надо вернуться в домик. И знать, что за остров имелся в виду. Итак, что у нас есть? У нас есть штанга, то миллион, створка и классье. Нужно поговорить с Эвраром, классье, блять. Наверное. И узнать, что за, блять, ебаный остров. Прокачки-то нет? Нет. Начать. Это согласие.
Two neon-lit shapes. A man and a woman having sex. A ray 1 kilometer away. A point beyond the docks, on an islet in the bay. The fort is ruined, but the perpetrator may have found a stable spot on the beaches surrounding it. where the concrete crumbles into the sea, as you saw in the coin-operated viewer.
B2 штриха, B3 штриха. А это я B1 посмотрел. Как попасть на B3 штриха, это, блядь, понятно.
The shot would have been a small miracle.
Ясно. Договор сдай. Не могу продолжить. А, у меня все квесты подзакончились. Нихуя себе. Что там? Что нужно было? Сила воли. Сила воли. Пиздец. Сила воли. У меня 2 шмотки всего лишь на силу воли, правильно? Правильно. А куртки нету, что ли, на силу воли? Вы что, полицейский трепет, нарушение сумрак, визуальный анализ. Нет куртки с силой воли. Ладно.
I was just thinking, what a nice day for questions. Pertaining. Okay.
She nods silently. Then,
Oh.
Did you take the documents?
he's trying to throw her off with the bluntness of the question.
No, of course not. As I said, it would have been too risky for me to use those documents anyway. My employer gave them to me. In truth, I should have destroyed them. They couldn't know where I put it. I'm absolutely sure I was not followed. And I've told no one but... You mentioned seawater? I was worried I'd been too careless with the latch. The documents were probably just washed away. Lies.
Yes, we demand she be punished for deceiving us. We demand her anxiety. She slowly lights another.
Sure.
Блять, и как мне теперь найти, где он там?
So official. Yeah? Thank you.
Technically, possession of No, don't listen to the stiff. Be cool.
With money, sir. It's not exactly the anti-star.
The anti-star is, or was, a Vespertine rock and roll star who liked to do drugs. He did so many drugs, he eventually mutated into a corpse.
Comes in handy when you've done too many opioids.
Is that something that happens to you often, miss?
Better safe than sorry. Oh, yes. One of my favorites. Like, not being able to stay up for 36 hours. Not being happy. It cures those ailments. It's just a merit speed molecule, basically. Huh? Motherfucker took my Preptide? Looks like you owe me one, officer. I'm talking serious.
This does not amount to actual corruption. I can easily look.
Robbed by common highwaymen.
It's hard to tell if she means it in earnest or as a joke.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead. Mm-hmm. All right.
Yes, miss. I hope you don't mind. All right.
Coolly, gracefully, she pours herself.
Okay. I did. After that, I sort of, transitioned out of the whole culture scene. We were there, okay. I turned back.
A great...
I knew he was dead. Before he fell down on top of me. He was having... I waited for the...
She's forgotten about her cigarette. The butt has burned right down to her fingernails.
Sure.
What time was?
11th.
It's okay.
Not as much.
Wait. Titus said she was gurning her jaw off. Much more than usual.
Oh, yeah.
Did you hear?
No. Nothing. He was still on the floor. Slouched. What? He wouldn't have...
It could have been... He was a... Now, you guys suddenly have theories pouring out. When they're obviously just stabs in the dark.
Like what? That's the first thing that I thought they'd found, so they wouldn't be hurt. I've come to understand, however, this is paranoia. What happened didn't have anything to do with me. Or...
We can't.
I don't ask you to, Lieutenant. But there's one thing I know, is that you'll get nothing from there. Because I'm an idiot.
Which idiot? She's nothing of the sort.
You have to...
Her jaw is clenched. Her throat moves. It takes...
He kept throwing stones at him for 3 days.
She definitely called the cops. That was task complete.
Last week. Angus...
She nods, silently. Then picks up the cold coffee.
Okay.
She nods.
Ну, блять, и куда мне силу воли, блять? Понятно, проебанная проверка. Осталась штанга и то миллион. Блять, обидно. Досадно. Ладно, похуй. Качнуть нечего, могу пока поговорить только с Эвраром, а дальше только... В принципе, да, там уже конец, видимо.
Hello, Wandering Man. How can I help you?
Has not lessened since you were last here. If anything, it seems to have grown slightly. And as it's always been, it's impossible to open a container with
Блять.
So,
there's a mean little light in its eyes.
Did it look like a germ? Did it...
His tone is totally different now. The jolly man of the people is gone, You get a sinking feeling.
You wanted us to relay all this information to her.
That this is a takeover? That I want a war? God, I hope you also told her about the drug trade. They absolutely hate getting their hands dirty with that. You can kill 1 million people, but if you do something the police doesn't like, well, then you're out of the yacht club. Goodbye, you inhuman fuck. No, Harry. What we have is real. We're working men. This here is real. Harry. I can't see into the future. We are all playing by ear on this planet. I had no idea she'd react so strongly. I did. I knew the negotiations would go better with police officers telling her horror stories from inside the harbour. It's scarier this way. Turns out it was a magnificent strategy. I never thought it'd so fundamentally fuck her up. Harry, I bunked her cabin. I bunked her whole boat. I had cameras surveying her boat. Hell, I even wanted to bug that thermal cap. But my boy...
They must have done it while Joyce was busy questioning the locals.
Not me personally. I had guys recording and processing this information for me. Hell no! They'd fuck it up. They can't do anything right. I mean my real boys. My special task force.
Where are these boys?
They sure as hell aren't hanging out in the open with beers in their hands for the cops to question. They're pros, Mr. Kitsuragi. Harry, you made a conscious decision to relay that information to her. You could have kept it for yourself. Against you? Oh, Harry, I'd like to think I used it for you.
It was interesting. No arguing against that.
Of course she did. Rich people have the best stories about all the interesting things they've done and seen, all the beautiful places they've been to. It's just sentimentalism. She can afford to be sentimental, and she can afford to lose as well. She's not insane. What did she tell you? No, she's not. She's a sentimental alcoholic. They all are. Never take a drop and you'll be 8 laps ahead of those upper-class winos. Just like old Mr. Clare here. Try it. You'll be a real super detective. Don't just say it, Harry. Do it. We gotta be more disciplined than they are, or we'll lose. What was always going to happen? We take the harbour and she fucks off to Ozon, uncorks a bottle of wine, calls her partners, and says they need to distance themselves from this nasty... Only difference is the Union doesn't have to lose 2,000 men to machine gun fire. Harry, when I need to tell people, I might as well do it myself. That's why I like...
And safer too. You never know who...
You knew something. Something big. And you wanted to see what happens when you tell someone. So you told her. Anyone who's ever been close to power, it's better than money. It's better than pussy. Money only makes you special for some salesmen. Pussy only makes you special for yourself. Information makes you special for all mankind. It's the ticket to history. Right on, Harry. What you did was participate in history. When history calls, you have to pick up. You had no choice. None of us ever do.
You know what, Detective? I am going to leave this out of my reports, and I suggest you leave it out of yours.
Just look at the three of us. The three careless boyaderos. Good times, good times. Okay. Hell yes it is. Now there's a whole lot of work to do. For me and for you. I suppose there was a reason you came here, so let's get to it. What can I help my best friend and comrade with today? My. She's quite the looker, Harry. You can't tell me, was it difficult to convince the pigs to give it up? I told you she was a piece of work, Harry, but I knew you could handle it. I know my special policeman. Anyway, I'm glad you're all right and armed again. My dear Harry, there are literally millions of containers in this harbor. I couldn't... Harry, you
Smooth talking. Maybe that's the way to go about opening the container. You should at least try
Попробовал. Ебать нахуй охуеть. Прям, блядь, ёбаная игра престолов, многоходовочники и вся хуйня. Но я проебал. И опыта достаточно не получил, чтобы снова попробовать створку грузового, а все остальное у нас проебано. Что ж, идем обратно. Бегом только. Здесь сейчас, блядь, бежать и бежать через... Ох, ёптать. Я думаю, не стоило возвращаться к этому. Можно было все закончить там. Я так и не узнал, что в том ящике. Из-за ебаного жиробаса. Получается, жиробас победил. Если кто-то не спиздел. Что-то мне подсказывает, что мне понадобится внушение, но, блядь.
Suddenly, your entire body is paralyzed. Aggressive white noise fills your skull. A strange pain, like you've never felt before. Through the static, you hear a woman's voice. It's like 1,000 radio stations are being blasted into your head all at once. But her words are the only ones you can make out.
I know you're feeling pretty uncomfortable right now. Don't move too much or fight it. That'll just make it worse. Can't say it's a pleasure, officer. I was really hoping not to make your acquaintance. But here we are.
As she says the word officer, you feel a spike in the agony. It sounds like the entire radio frequency range is screaming directly into your neural pathways. No, buddy, that's not going to help. You can't shield yourself from this. It's an entirely new type of experience. Way worse than all the... Don't focus on the pain. Focus on doing your job. Tell her she's under arrest.
No, I'm not going to fucking kill you. If that had been my plan, you'd be dead already. All things, I'm using a pale latitude compressor. You and your partner have been caught.
The explosion of static you're hearing, blasted from that pale emitter that Angus mentioned.
Saw my equations? You've been sniffing through my lorry, right? I expected as much.
You should probably check on Kim. That's what good partners do.
Right behind you, officer.
A pale latitude compressor is used to sort of make the pale more manageable. With a lot of these, you can force a radio signal grid on the pale. Literally, signals are relayed across a series of repeater stations fixed to buoys. Not a fun job manning those stations. All alone out there in the pale, people lose their minds.
So, what we are experiencing is a concentration of radio waves.
Precisely. This is an industrial strength paraboloid. It's meant for forcing dimensions on something that doesn't have them. Needless, at the upper limit is the large prime number generator station. It's used specifically for pale latitude compression. That's why you may be hearing some numbers. But you might also...
She's been holed up in here for a while with no one to talk to. Keep her talking, and you just might get an opportunity to break loose.
I built it myself.
And she's proud of it too, as she ought to be. This is way beyond your abilities.
That's illegal. I'm guessing it's patented. But we are beyond that, aren't we?
Oh yeah, way beyond. Yeah, I stuck my head in there before using it on you. It seemed like the ethical thing to do. Can't say that I enjoyed it. The field was weaker, but I can imagine what you're going through. No, once I shut down the compressor, the pain will end. It may take a few minutes for you to steady yourself, though. Yeah, let's not talk about that shit. You were hunting me and fell into my trap instead. That's all there is to say about it.
So she thinks of you as hunters, not cops, and of herself merely as prey.
If you've got something really important to say, you can do it through the white noise.
Turn this.
God damn it. Fine. If you really want to talk, I can dial it down. I've also got a gun, by the way.
She's carrying a 2-barrel front loader. Well, it doesn't feel much better, but she can form sentences now. Just keep her talking, and you'll get through it. There's only 3 meters between you and the machine. If you keep her distracted, be careful when you make your move. That'll be it for questions. Bide your time.
I heard you in the passages, and I've been preparing for quite a while. So you found my shack, huh? I'm not surprised. So nice. That's one knife I didn't want to find to my back. This could have turned out pretty bad for me if you hadn't walked right into 25 bands of...
That's her admitting the bullet was an emergency exit.
No, I didn't do it. I only helped stage the lynching. Who ratted me out, by the way? Was it Titus? No, he wouldn't have broken first. Oh. Well, I guess I always knew she was a survivor above all else. But she couldn't have known I was on the coast. How did you find me? Fuck. Took some convincing my ass. Those guys liked me, I know it. This is what happens to people who...
A dull despair is creeping into her voice.
How the fuck did the rest of you get by? I did, didn't I? Now you've come for me. Fuck them all the same. What shit? I told you I didn't do it. Sounds pretty...
A strong moral compass. She still wants the opportunity to make a case for herself.
I didn't like him. Hardened mercenaries aren't particularly likable types. You think I was envious of his conquests? Look, pussy's not a problem for me, and definitely not a reason to off someone. Yeah, sure. And I didn't like Wild Pines sending in those foreign hirelings. Me and a fuck ton of other people around here. I'm listening. Man, I was with the boys the whole night. I hope they at least bothered to impress that upon you. You mean the length of a toilet break? That wouldn't even have been enough time. Wow. Now I'm curious. Please, explain. No. Not since I was 14 and hanging out in the only diner in Dardun. Haven't been in why. Yeah, and probably some ghosts from the time of the suzerain. I'm not really interested in supernatural mysteries. Not murder mysteries either, if that's what you're thinking.
She looks you in the eye, impassively, making it clear that she's not planning to comment on the matter any further.
Don't know it, but also...
Evaluating your competence as a police officer.
The shot couldn't have come from the roof, or we would have all heard it downstairs.
She has a point there. No one mentioned...
That didn't go super well. You've got to lay something better on her.
And? The gun store. Trigger Happy Jacks. What did you think? That I'm going to squeal on my gun supplier? Sorry, not that kind of gal. Sure don't.
A breech loader?
No.
This is such a wipeout.
A knocked-away 80 front loader. Two-barreled. Not really what you were looking for, I'm guessing. Yeah, evidence. I considered her a good friend, yeah. Oh, so that's where you were going with this. That's a very sentimental way of putting it. We both had pasts and didn't want to catch up with us. And we enjoyed...
The lieutenant watches her expectantly.
Okay, fine. I was into her. Clausy was into me too for a time, I know it. We even fooled around once. And yeah, after that I thought maybe we could make a go of it. She rejected me with some wishy-washy bullshit about how she was confused because she felt so close to me and valued my friendship so much. I knew that wasn't the whole story, but thought, fine, I'll take it and move on. Wow. Pissing, pinball, and now peeping. I'm just not following your insinuations, detective. If I want to stare at a pretty girl, I can pick one up at a bar. Or, worst case scenario, look at a naughty photo. Who has time to go skulking about the whirling, drilling holes in walls? What the fuck, man? She's everyone's type. She's your type.
She's beginning to suspect you've broken into her lorry now.
Nope. Look, she has an effect on people. That je ne sais quoi that makes it impossible not to look at her when, for the same reason that she's everyone's type as an object of desire, she's not irreplaceable. Yeah, one time when we'd both been drinking, I said some heated things about how I was a little worried she'd blow it out of proportion in her head. All the drugs she was doing can make you feel like you're living in a DeLorean tragedy. Yeah, the girl seemed terrified. The merc was beyond caring what happened to his mortal coil. It was a no-brainer. What the hell, man? Yeah.
Her hand slipped from the dial of the compressor for a moment, almost turning it down.
Go ahead. It's your
And mine too, he thinks. But keep on. This must be done.
Who doesn't? Oh, you probably mean Claudia's rooftop. Sure, I've hung out there. She's got this great antenna. The view's pretty bomb, too. But you might say the antenna, it's very powerful. I used it to tune into RCM frequencies. That's how I knew... Yes, I'm sure. And anyway, as I said before, the shot had to have come from afar. So, Heart of Gold Tommy fucked me over too. Never trust a musician. Okay, great. You got into my lorry on your own. What now? You're going to arrest me for drug trafficking? That's your prerogative. Man, it's to get away from all that murderous shit that I left Jamrock, my previous employer, for the union.
She deliberately avoided naming the mob she worked for. You might be able...
I got lucky being a dispatcher. Never had to do any of the really dirty work myself. This gun has only been used for self-defense against serious scum.
There. It's going to be easier to reach the machine now.
Based on what I've heard about you, you are serious scum. Yeah? Where?
More questions before doing anything.
How should I know? As I keep saying, he already had a bullet in his head when I got to him.
Those rings around her eyes. Her tired voice. She...
Police radio? You've been...
Who hasn't? You know, I can still see him there, in Claus's room, lying on his side. He was still warm, but the bluish light coming through the broken window made him look as though he'd been dead for a good long while.
She eyes you warily, as though gauging your...
It's okay. We just want to...
All right, don't kill yourself over it. I was shooting the shit with Hardy and the boys over a few beers. Like, she sits down with a drink, trying to steady her nerves. So I grab a seat next to her. Oh yeah, super. But I didn't think too much of it at first. I'd seen her party. No, I really didn't. She's not that easy to read. I just assumed she'd done too much blow. She asked me to come upstairs. The merc she'd been going with was lying on the bedroom floor.
You made it look like he'd been hanged.
What? No. Faking a lynching was her idea. Yeah, in cold blood. It really surprised me how quickly she was able to get a hold of her. She asked me to help her drag him into the shower so she could wind the shower head around his neck. To fake lividity?
Classy knew exactly what she was doing. You can't remain calm under pressure otherwise.
Yeah. I wasn't sure whether to admire her. As I keep telling you cops, we didn't hear anything downstairs.
But even if this is true, weren't you worried the lynching might lead to...
War? The thought crossed my mind. But the mercenary's death was going to have repercussions. Fuck it. I'm not responsible for these people after what they did to me. I saw you roll into town. I wasn't about to stick around.
So this is what she was scared to tell Titus. This cop.
Yes, you. Everyone says you're his peon, his human can opener.
Through the sudden sharp pain in your head, you hear the lieutenant mumble some fucking hell. And why me? You hear through the... It's especially bad suddenly. Felt like a vein exploded.
Everyone in Jamrock. The cops, the criminals. Why do you think I'm holed up in here with...
If she knows that about you, she must know your real name too.
Harry Dubois. One corrupt motherfucker with the disco pants and the funny top.
So she knows your name. That doesn't mean you're on the tape. Criminals, all of this just means that you're effective. Criminals know you and are scared of you.
Right. Sure. You don't know. Yeah, sure.
She doesn't believe
you. I'm sure La Puta Madre himself will explain it all to you soon enough. You've been to my lorry. You think the biggest player in Jamrock appreciates competition?
She's not going to change her mind that easily. She's still... Wait, one thing. Possibly small, but she said you rolled into town. Was that you singular or plural? She might know something.
Да ладно.
You did it. The compressor lies broken on its side. It's quiet in your head again. It still hurts like hell, but... She looks at the machine, assessing the damage.
Oh, fuck it. Problem solving.
Ma'am, put the gun down.
Oh, yes it is.
She's truly desperate. She thinks she has no other options. You know. This is how you talk her out of it. It's the only scenario in which she lives. She stares at you, frozen. the gun still in her mouth. Her neck and shoulders relax, and her grip on the gun loosens.
Day of miracles. I'll take it.
She runs past you, then past the lieutenant, and disappears into the darkness of the tunnel.
Good call. Yeah, I'm sure. I would have done the same had I not been incapacitated. I have a feeling we didn't. Her tent. We should check it out.
Ладно, на этом пока все. Еще автосохранение подкатилось. Но, блядь, из-за того, что, блядь, я не набрал с собой таблеток, я не стал рисковать сдохнуть. Потому что одно здоровье оставалось. И пошел сразу 97% тыркать, не задавая вопросов, не изучая. Обида. Обида.